Ethan Cole woke up slowly to a soft humming sound around him. His eyes blinked open, and for a moment he saw only white light. The air felt clean and cool, and when he tried to move, he realized he was lying on a bed that wasn't human-made. The walls curved smoothly, glowing with a pale blue color. Machines floated nearby, scanning him with soft beams. His memories came back in flashes: the emergency alarm in his ship, the jump failure, and then darkness. He was sure he was dead, but somehow he was still breathing. He turned his head and saw 3 tall figures standing at the foot of his bed. They had long limbs, calm eyes that shimmered silver, and skin that looked like liquid glass with a faint blue glow. One of them stepped closer and spoke in a voice that sounded like music. A small sphere hovering near Ethan's ear translated the words into English. "You are safe. You were recovered from a damaged vessel near our border. Please stay calm, human." The voice was soft but firm. Ethan nodded, too tired to argue. "Where am I?" he whispered. The translator buzzed again. "You are in the Valari Galactic Medical Center. I am Chief Nurse Lyra. You have many wounds, but you will live." He stared at her, unsure whether to be scared or grateful. She looked almost angelic, glowing faintly in the dim light, but her silver eyes were sharp and observant. She reached toward him with a slender hand that held a scanning wand. "Do not move," she said gently. "We will begin examination." Ethan's instinct made him flinch. He wasn't used to being touched by aliens. He grabbed the only familiar thing within reach, his small multi-tool scanner that had somehow stayed clipped to his uniform. It was dented and scratched, but still working. He held it close, feeling safer with it. Lyra tilted her head, curious. "What is that object you are holding?" she asked. Ethan gave a tired smile. "It's just my instrument," he said. The translator paused for a moment before repeating his words to the aliens. They exchanged looks, whispering among themselves in musical tones. Lyra blinked twice as if confused, and then looked back at him. "Your instrument?" she repeated carefully. "Yes," Ethan said, trying to explain. "It helps me fix things. Scan systems. Engineering stuff." But the translation sphere stuttered slightly, catching on the human slang. The aliens looked even more puzzled. One of the assistants whispered something that made Lyra's face change slightly, like surprise mixed with curiosity. Ethan didn't notice at first. He was too focused on the pain in his shoulder. Lyra tried to stay professional, but her curiosity got the better of her. "This instrument," she said slowly, "it is essential to your biology?" Ethan blinked, confused. "My biology? No, it's a tool. Just a piece of equipment." The translator buzzed again, but the aliens still looked uncertain. They began scanning the multi-tool from a distance, reading strange signals from the metal. Lyra stepped closer, holding her own scanner. "We must study it," she said. "It seems connected to your survival readings," Ethan sighed. "You're misunderstanding. It's not part of me." Lyra smiled politely, misunderstanding still clear in her tone. "Of course, human. You may keep your instrument for now." He didn't like the way she said "for now," but he was too exhausted to argue. The medical table adjusted automatically, tilting slightly as gentle energy beams moved over his chest. He watched in awe as his injuries knitted together beneath glowing light. The pain faded, replaced by a strange warmth. These aliens didn't use stitches or drugs. They used energy fields and sound frequencies to repair cells. When it was done, Lyra placed a smooth crystal over his heart. "Your pulse is strong," she said, her voice calm. "You will recover fully within 2 rotations." Ethan tried to sit up, but the bed pushed him gently back down. "Thanks," he muttered. "You people are good at this." "We are healers," Lyra replied simply. Then she studied him again, her eyes lingering on the multi-tool still clutched in his hand. "Human technology is unusual. You trust your creations deeply." Ethan nodded. "It's what keeps us alive out there." Lyra seemed thoughtful. She took a data tablet and recorded notes. Around her, the other Valari moved silently, glancing at Ethan with curiosity. To them, he was the first human they had seen in person, a creature from a harsh planet, reckless but resourceful. When she finished her notes, Lyra looked at him one last time. "You may rest," she said. "I will return to continue the study of your instrument and your body systems." Ethan laughed softly, shaking his head. "Please, just call it a tool, okay?" She tilted her head again, not understanding the humor. "As you wish, human." The lights dimmed as the room entered rest mode. Ethan stared at the ceiling, still holding his multi-tool. The hum of alien machinery surrounded him, and yet he felt oddly safe. He had no idea that his careless word choice had already started a small wave of confusion through the medical staff. By morning, the entire station would be whispering about the strange human and the instrument he refused to part with. Ethan sighed, closed his eyes, and let the soft hum carry him into sleep, unaware that this small misunderstanding would soon change how the entire Valari species viewed humankind. When morning light touched the curved walls of the medical bay, Ethan was already awake. He had not slept well. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the strange silver eyes of the alien nurse watching him with quiet curiosity. The translator sphere floated beside his bed, humming softly. Ethan stretched his arms, feeling better. His wounds were almost gone. Whatever the Valari had done to him worked better than any human medicine. A soft chime filled the air and the door slid open without sound. Lyra walked in, carrying a transparent case filled with glowing vials. She moved with calm grace, her feet making no noise on the polished floor. "Good morning, human," the translator said in her soft tone. "You rested?" "Not much," Ethan admitted, sitting up. "Too quiet in here. I'm used to engines, not silence." Lyra placed the case on the table and smiled faintly. "Engines? Machines that roar?" He grinned. "Exactly. You could hear them miles away. Music to a pilot's ears." Her silver eyes blinked twice, showing curiosity. "Interesting species," she said softly, and began to scan his vitals again. Ethan looked at the strange device she used. It hovered above him, projecting green light that wrapped around his body. "You sure that thing's safe?" he asked. "It heals," she said simply. "Unlike your instrument." Ethan sighed, rubbing his forehead. "We're still on that, huh? I told you it's just a multi-tool. Not biological." But Lyra didn't seem convinced. She held out her hand. "May I see it again?" He hesitated, then handed it over. The small device gleamed faintly under the room's light. Lyra turned it carefully, watching its joints and switches. "It emits low radiation," she observed, "and it connects to your nervous field when you touch it." "It's just a reaction to static charge," Ethan explained. "Nothing special," she ignored that. "You built this?" "Not me. Human engineers back home. It's standard for maintenance crews. Fixes almost anything." Lyra looked at him, impressed. "Your species builds tools to do what your bodies cannot." "That is fascinating," Ethan smiled. "That's how we survive. We're not strong or fast, so we build." The door opened again and two other Valari entered. They carried data pads and whispered quickly in their language. One of them, taller and with a darker glow, looked at Ethan like he was a rare specimen. Lyra turned toward them. "This is Dr. Venn. He requested to observe your physiology." Ethan frowned. "Observe? You mean study?" Dr. Venn spoke, and the translator repeated, "Human endurance is legendary. We wish to understand it. Many species cannot survive what you have." Ethan leaned back. "You mean crashing into hyperspace debris?" "Yeah, that's not exactly fun." Venn didn't react to the humor. He raised his own scanner and Lyra stepped aside. The device projected a light that made Ethan's muscles tingle. Lines of data filled the alien's pad. "Remarkable," Venn said. "The human body resists cellular decay under stress. Most Valari would perish," Ethan smirked. "Guess we're built for rough neighborhoods." Lyra looked at him thoughtfully. "You are not afraid of pain, are you?" "Afraid, sure, but we push through it anyway." "That's what humans do." Her eyes softened. There was something almost emotional in her voice when she said, "Courage through fear. That is not common among our people." Before Ethan could reply, an alarm echoed faintly through the station. Venn and Lyra looked toward the ceiling. The lights flickered once. Lyra's tone changed immediately. "Power fluctuation. Remain still." The floor vibrated, a low rumble spreading through the bay. Ethan sat up, alert. That didn't sound small. Venn touched his communicator. "A minor reactor adjustment. Nothing to fear." But Ethan knew the sound of failing systems. It was the same deep vibration ships made before meltdown. He jumped off the bed. "Where's your backup line?" "That's not a minor fluctuation." Lyra frowned. "You cannot walk yet." "I'm fine," Ethan said, grabbing his multi-tool. "Show me your power feed layout." Van looked insulted. "You presume to fix our systems?" Ethan pointed toward the wall where the vibration was strongest. "You've got a resonance feedback in your stabilizer ring. If that thing overloads, your life support grid will collapse." Lyra hesitated, torn between duty and trust. Then she nodded. "Show me." Together they ran into the corridor. Lights flickered as alien medics hurried by. Ethan crouched near a panel, pried it open with his tool, and sparks flew. The Valari watched in surprise as he patched 2 loose conduits using a wire from his own uniform. The humming steadied. Lyra's eyes widened. You repaired it manually, without linking to the control net. Ethan grinned. Sometimes the best fix is the simple one. The alarms faded, replaced by calm light. Ben stepped forward, looking amazed. Humans use touch and instinct where we use code and logic. Primitive yet effective, Ethan wiped his hands. We call it experience. Lyra looked at him differently now, no longer as a patient, but as something rare. Perhaps your instrument is not strange after all, she said softly. It saved us, Ethan laughed. Told you it's useful. She handed him back the tool carefully, as if it were sacred. Our database will record this event. The first human repair aboard a Valari medical vessel. Let's hope it's not the last, he said with a smile. As the corridor lights stabilized, Lyra stood beside him quietly. In her silver eyes there was respect and something more, a spark of wonder. Ethan looked around at the glowing walls, realizing he might have just taken the first small step toward something far greater than survival.